Please note that all roles can submit requests for invitations to be sent to suppliers. For this training, we will be using the base role of an initiator. Begin by logging in as your role in the Sandbox or through your SSO. Your Sandbox link can be found on your Monday.com board. Once logged in, to send an invitation, start by clicking on the Vendor Master Updates tile. As an initiator, you'll be defaulted to the Show Onboarding screen. Any other role will be defaulted to the Show Requests screen. To navigate back to onboarding, simply click on the drop-down and select Onboardings. To send an invitation request, start by clicking on the Send Invitation button. The Invite New Vendor pop-up will appear. Any of the items here with an asterisk are required, meaning that the invitation request will not be submitted without those items being filled. Start with a company or individual name. Then follow with the email. Which you will have to re-enter to verify. Enter in a description of goods or services. This can be as generic or specific as determined by your company processes. Next comes the initiator information. This is the person sending the invitation. Start with the initiator's first and last name, then enter their email. Followed by the department and their phone number. Select from the drop-down which reason you are inviting the supplier. The final box is the personalized message. The last required item is the reason for inviting the vendor. Select the appropriate choice from your drop-down. The final box is your personalized message. You can use this box to add any additional messaging you would like to send to your vendor. While it is not required, we do recommend using this box to include some details as a reminder to the vendor so that when they see the invitation, they are aware of what the invitation is and who it is from. Once you have filled out all the information and added your personalized message, click Send. You will be alerted that your invitation has been sent for approval. Our default system workflow is set up so that invitations go from the initiator to the procurement role to be reviewed and approved or rejected. You can come to the New Vendors Onboarding screen at any point in time to check the status of your invitation. The information in the Account, New Vendor Registration, and Percentage Complete columns all convey some status-related information. These are active links that can be clicked on to learn more. Pending approval in the invitation column means that the invitation has not yet been sent to the vendor. It is still waiting approval from the procurement role. Sent means that the invitation has successfully been sent to the email of the vendor. Delivered means that the invitation has been successfully delivered to the email of the vendor. Opened means that the vendor has opened the invitation but not yet clicked on the link to start the registration process. Clicked means that the vendor has clicked on the link in the invitation. Undelivered means that the email address is invalid so that the invitation could not be sent. Canceled means that the invitation was canceled. You can cancel invitations up until the vendor opens the email. You'll notice that as the status of the invitation column changes, so does the status of the vendor account column, and then the new vendor registration column. Once vendors begin their registration, the vendor account column will show as email validated. In the new vendor registration column, you will also see additional statuses. Not started means that the vendor has yet to begin their registration form. In progress means that they are currently working on the registration. Submitted pending PaymentWorks review means that the vendor has completed and submitted their registration form with banking information. PaymentWorks is now in the process of reviewing that banking information. Submitted, payment works waiting for vendor response, means that the vendor has completed and submitted their registration form. Payment works has called the vendor and left a message, and the vendor needs to return the phone call. Finally, submitted pending internal review means that the vendor has completed and submitted their registration form. Payment works has reviewed the bank account and the registration and is now waiting for internal review from your organization. The percentage complete column will grow as the vendor completes their registration process. Please refer to our initiator documentation for more information on the statuses in each of these columns. Once the vendor has submitted their registration and your approval team has reviewed and updated the information with your ERP, you'll see the percentage complete process bar, as well as the new vendor registration status column showing complete, and the ERP vendor number now being assigned. For more information on the connection process, please see our training videos for approving new vendor registrations and the manual connection process. As an initiator, you can click on any of the links in the status columns to see more information about the invitation you created or others have created. Once clicked, the link will display the entire invitation history. You will be able to see everything that was sent in the invitation as well as the personalized message. If your invitation shows a rejected status, be sure to review the message or note that was entered by the approver. If you wish to resend the invitation request, click on the Resend Invitation button. You'll have to change something on the form or correct the incorrect items suggested by the invitation approver before you can resubmit. Simply click on the Send button after your changes have been made, and the status will change to pending approval instead of rejected. To learn more about the approving invitation process, please see our Approving Invitations video.